Anyway, guys, today I want to talk to you about something that I've been thinking about a lot recently, especially in these past few months and weeks. And the reason I haven't put out a video about it until now is that I didn't want to fuck it up. So hopefully this is going to be a video that isn't fucked up. Today, I want to talk to you all about the idea of call-out culture and exposed videos, exposing people, and the whole industry around it. This has been something that has been much more prevalent recently, and I think that it only serves to become even bigger unless something is kind of done about it, and unless, I guess, popular opinion changes and people realize what really is going to become the outcome of this. Now, before I really get into the actual issue itself, I do want to preface this by a couple of disclaimers because I know a lot of people are going to go into this video with a bit of a bias. They're going to think that I actually have some sort of hidden agenda, etc. I really don't, right? This is something that I think is bad on all ends of the spectrum. I don't like exposing anybody. I don't like deplatforming anybody. I think that bad ideas should be beaten with good ideas, and I'm generally somebody who thinks that if somebody is an asshole, you can just ignore them, right? They don't have to be taken off of a platform. They can just be ignored and refuted. And I think in the long run, that's the best thing to happen. Also, I want to say that I'm talking mainly about people that are on YouTube, people that are on Twitch, and people that are kind of on Twitter, right? But mostly just people on YouTube and Twitch that are on Twitter as well. This isn't trying to be like some kind of greater social commentary or anything. I want to talk about people that are in really my sphere of influence and what I've seen this really do to the community as a whole. So generally, the second disclaimer, I forgot to say this. The second disclaimer is that I think that some exposed videos do make sense and they're good, right? Two examples of that, I think number one is CSGO Lotto. And the line that I'm going to draw here, just so you guys can see where my consistency is, and you can call me on that if you think that I'm not being consistent, but I think that the line that I'm drawing here, when exposed videos are acceptable, is whenever the content creator is legitimately harming their audience. And I'm not talking about being mean or saying mean words. I'm talking about legitimately harming their audience, like maybe scamming them out of CSGO skins. And whenever they're being harmed because of that content creator's content itself, right? That is when I think exposed videos are completely fine, and that's when I think they're actually good. Everything that falls short of that, maybe not so much. So CSGO Lotto would be one example of whenever I thought that was a good thing to expose. And the second thing, I remember there was like a Minecraft YouTuber, I believe. I think his name was like Lion Maker. I don't remember it too well, but this was like a couple of years ago. And somebody made an exposed video about him, and it turned out this guy was like having I don't want to say the wrong word, right, but having inappropriate or at least odd relationships with people that are a lot younger than he is, and people that are underage. He had like this thing where like kids were like making videos portraying themselves in some sort of situation that could obviously been sexual if somebody was into that. And yeah, I mean, of course that should be exposed because that's dangerous. Like if I was a kid or I was a parent or a kid, right, I'd want to know about that either way. I mean, the guy could be potentially a predator, and especially with his past history, yeah, I mean, of course, right? But again, I think that falls into the category of the content creator harming their audience through the nature of their content, right? I think that's very bad. Beyond that, though, I think you should really kind of live and let live. And the problem really is that there's a number of problems with this, but the main one, I think, is that it creates a monetary incentive to create more fucking exposed content. I mean, like, do you guys ever notice if you go and you look at these exposed videos, they all have ads on them? What do you think? This guy's doing it because he wants to, he's some noble fucking Batman? No, he wants money and credibility and recognition. That's what they want. They don't care about the person. They don't care about the idea. That's whenever people are getting threatened and, told that they're doing these terrible things, some of which are illegal. That's why these clowns are making videos on YouTube and not talking to the fucking police. They're doing it for clout. They're doing it for money. They're doing it for attention. The last thing that they're doing it for is because they're trying to be a good person. So these videos and the success of the videos breeds more of them. And as more of these videos are being bred by the success of previous ones, then what's going to happen is somebody is going to say, well, because it's like if you It's like in a hot dog eating contest, right? I mean, it goes with everything. The people always want to outdo each other. It's like if one dude eats 10 hot dogs, the other dude wants to go for a dozen, right? That's always how it is. Human nature. People always want to, up the ante, more, more, more. So if somebody gets wind of somebody doing something absolutely terrible, they're probably just going to make a video about it and potentially damage this person's entire fucking reputation on something that could have been a lie. There are tons of exposed videos that go out and they're fucking lies. It's not even true. And what about slander and defamation of character? This is a legal thing, right? Is this person a news organization? No, they're a clown with a webcam. This did not go through proper vetting. This didn't go through anything. This went through this guy's Twitter feed, okay? And honestly, I guess nowadays with so many articles coming out, that's usually that's the level of a lot of proof, but that doesn't make it a good thing. Here's the issue, is that then YouTube and Twitch and these other platforms are now hosting content that's breaking the fucking law. And so it's bad for the platform. It makes the platform look bad because you have people that, and if any of these exposed videos go out and people find out that they're fake, then oh yeah, YouTube looks great for having something on their platform to damage somebody's character and ruin their career. Oh yeah, it's great. That's awesome. Of course not. It's fucking ridiculous. Why should that even be on there? Twitch. Everybody gets mad at Twitch. Twitch has too many rules. I agree in a lot of cases, but the one rule that I do agree with is the rule where you don't badmouth other broadcasters. You don't talk shit. Okay, you can report them, but you don't need to go on a Twitter crusade. And I know there's the thing, is that everybody feels like the time that they do it is okay. Oh, well, whenever we do it, it's good. Oh, well, whenever they do it, it's bad. Whenever we do it, it's good. Live and let live. Let people do whatever the fuck they want, unless they're hurting their audience. And if they are, report them to Twitch. Don't report them to Twitter. You think Twitch doesn't see that? Some guy sitting there, some person sitting there with 1,000, 2,000 views. Twitch is like, oh, I don't know who that is. Of course they do. They have somebody that's assigned to pay this person money to be their contact. They know what they're doing. Like, it's so ridiculous to me that people think this is okay. And on top of that, right, so you're creating a monetary incentive to create content that damages other people's characters, and then through doing that, it will indirectly lower the standard of what is acceptable proof and what's not, because people just want to put out whatever they can as fast as they can to get as much reactions and as much money as they can, and then it's like everybody remembers like the big story that damages somebody's character, and then like a few days later, like, oh well, that part wasn't true. The part where it said he was like a rapist. Oh yeah, that didn't happen. Well, he's still fucked. He's still fucked. The person's still got their reputation destroyed, and this happens all the time. And you can say this is what stupid people say. Well, content creators should do a better job. Give me a fucking break. Do you really think that they're not going to do something that's going to make them money? Do you really think that they're not going to do something that appoints them as the moral arbiter of the internet, and now everybody has to appease them, and people don't want to attack them because they're worried of being exposed themselves? No, of course not. It's going to make them look good in not in a qualitative and a quantitative manner, right? Reputation and power. That's what happens. So people are always going to chase that. Expect people. Here's a way to never get disappointed. Always expect people to work in self-interest. And you probably never will be. Always expect that. Here's where it needs to come from, is it needs to come from the platforms themselves. And I know, like, oh wow, Asmongold's, supporting censorship. No, I'm not. No, I'm fucking not. If exposing somebody with lies, right, and even if they're not lies, they're certainly not substantiated claims. You're getting this secondhand. You don't have a way to verify these claims. You're not a news organization. Again, you're a guy with a webcam. No, yeah, I don't think that should be on the platform because it just makes everything worse. Yeah, that's if that's censorship to you, number one, you're a fucking moron, and number two, that's too bad. Okay, like there actually really is no number two. I don't like it at all. So that's one big reason. And the second thing, guys. So I think I've kind of beat that horse into the ground, or at least I hope I have. The second thing is that it creates more rules for everybody. And this is what happened with the Twitch TOS. oh wow, these girls are going around and being too sexual. I don't like this. And instead of turning off the stream, they go on a crusade. They're like, oh well, we don't like this. It's terrible. And then Twitch eventually comes out with the new TOS, right? The new TOS, which is it's cut down at maybe the worst 10% of sexual streams, and it's also imposed a million other fucking rules that nobody even really knows where the lines are, right? Oh, you can't make fun of somebody based off of, every single different type of identity that they have. If you call somebody a stupid kid, technically that's against the TOS. And technically, if you break the TOS in that manner, you can be banned permanently. So is calling somebody a stupid kid a permabannable offense? Like, you just use logic and you can see how ridiculous that is. But the community keeps wanting more fucking rules for the other side. Oh, well, we don't like these other people, so make more rules for them. And be careful with what you wish for, because you got it. This is what you have. Now, everybody's got a bunch of fucking rules that they don't want, and everybody suffers from it. Content suffers from it. You can't push the borders anymore because the borders keep getting smaller. That's bad. That's bad for me. Like, I'm sitting here doing my own thing, and then, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't make these kinds of jokes. Oh, yeah, of course, yeah, the jokes are asshole jokes, but who says, like, what's wrong with a little bit of black humor, right? I can't do that anymore. I don't think that's a terrible thing, right? Especially if it's a joke. Some of you can disagree, whatever, but that's how I feel. And ultimately, guys, just a second, there's a roach next to me. Jesus Christ. Look at him. There he is. Son of a bitch. Fucking crawly boy. What are we gonna do with him? He's coming to me. What are you doing? Get out of here. Alright, he's over there for now. Hopefully we won't have to deal with him. Sorry about that, guys. Just fucking annoying. I'll have to deal with him later on. Get the scissors. See? Yeah, if I make that joke on Twitch, won't I get in trouble? What is this, animal abuse? Give me a break. So, this is, it's got, like, at the beginning of the video I was calm, right? Now I'm mad. And it's too much, right? It's just way too much. I want to see people able to do what they want. I want to see people able to express themselves. And I want to see a society. I want to see a community that doesn't try to cannibalize itself every single time that there's any sense of, there's like any sense, oh man, do I get a little bit more viewers for this? Will I get a little bit better rep for this? And it's just so pathetic. And so here's what we need to do, okay? Here are the two things. Number one, the websites need to crack down on this shit, because not only are they providing a platform for things that are potentially illegal, slander and defamation of character, but on top of that, it just makes the entire platform more toxic as a whole. And number two, the community as a whole has to shit on the people that are trying to shit on other people, okay? It's like shitception, okay? The fact is that if these videos were not successful, people wouldn't do them. The fact is that if every single time somebody made an exposed video, they turned out looking like an asshole, people would stop making exposed videos. This is another example. Today, Athene, the best paladin in the world, right? At least he was 10 years ago, got his YouTube channel banned, right? And everybody in the comments of every section and every forum thread is going in there saying that Athene scammed charity money, Athene is, like running a cult, etc. And I don't know, like, really if all of that stuff, I don't think that he scammed charity money, personally. That's the one thing that I don't think happened. But people think that, and the reason they think that is because other people have made videos and they've talked about that stuff, and they've made this guy look like a jackass more than he already is. Athene's done some bad things, in my opinion. His behavior, especially in these past few years, is questionable. But what happens is that somebody does something that's kind of bad, and then everybody jumps on top of them and shits on them for things that they didn't do that were bad. And it's empowered. It's kind of the people that are making, for example, Athene or whoever look bad, act as like a lightning rod for these people to, use as like their spokesperson to attack somebody else. And I just want to see, as I said before, I want to see an environment where people can create content, an environment where people can be creative, and an environment where people don't have to look over their shoulder every single time that they tell a joke, every single time that they say something, and also every single time that they just put out content in general. This doesn't even have to be something that's like, oh, well, people get too offended nowadays. It's not even that. There are tons of other things that are completely like, this isn't like an anti-SJW thing. This is just in general. And also it comes people that are, it's every direction. This is what I really want to get to. It's every direction this happens. It's not there's one side that's oppressing the other side. Every side is trying to oppress the other side. And this is my video, this is my plea. Let people do whatever the fuck they want. Unless they're hurting somebody else, unless they're hurting you, don't worry about it. It'll make everybody better off, it'll make the community better, and it'll raise the standard on content as a whole. It's not good content to just say something bad about somebody for 10 minutes, right? It's not. And of course it's 10 minutes because that's how they get better ads. And hey, why do you think they're doing the videos? Again, I don't know, man. It's something that really bothers me. It's something that I've thought about a lot. And I think that it's about time that I make a video about it and state where I'm at. I think that the end result is going to be more and more rules, people trying to take each other's freedoms away and their, freedom of expression away, and they're going to end up taking away their own. And I think if you create a weapon, and I've said this before, if you create a weapon to use against other people, the only thing that you have to do to make sure that it's used against you is wait. And I think that Twitch TOS is an example of that. I think a lot of the other rules and harassment policies are an example of that. Just let people do what they're going to do and leave them the fuck alone. And the exposed videos should not exist. They're bad, they're toxic, they have no place on the internet except for people that are legitimately harming their audience. That's what I think. If you disagree, I'm curious why. Hopefully you watch the whole video. Usually people don't that are mad, but hopefully you do, and I'm interested to hear what the conversations are. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I've got. So, peace.